The desert winds of Krathos III howled through the canyon, carrying sand that stung like shattered glass. Jack pressed himself against the rock face, his tactical visor scanning the alien landscape for any sign of movement. His squad had been ambushed 3 clicks back, and he was the only one who'd made it out. Standard Tuesday for humanity's forward scouts. That's when he saw her. At first, Jack thought it was another piece of wreckage from the crashed ship that littered the valley floor. But wreckage didn't bleed. He moved closer, rifle raised and his breath caught in his throat. She was Velkari, one of the Empire's elite, judging by the intricate markings on her azure skin. Her robes, once pristine white, were now torn and soaked crimson. 4 parallel gashes ran across her torso, deep enough that Jack could see the purple shimmer of her secondary organs. The sand around her had already begun to cake with her blood. "Soldier, what's your status?" Captain Morrison's voice crackled through his comm. Jack knelt beside the dying alien, his hands already reaching for his medical kit. "Found a survivor, Cap. Velkari female. Critical condition, Sly. Then leave her." "The Velkari aren't our friends, Jack. Get to the extraction point." Jack looked at the woman's face. Her eyes, 3 of them arranged in a triangle, flickered with fading consciousness. She tried to speak, but only managed a wet cough that sprayed bioluminescent blood onto the sand. "Negative, Captain. Can't do that. That's an order, Corporal." Jack switched off his comm. The stories said humans were crazy. In the Galactic Assembly, they were the newcomers, the primitives who'd somehow stumbled into faster-than-light travel only 2 decades ago. Every other species had millennia of civilization, of culture, of carefully constructed social hierarchies. Humanity had war, stubbornness, and an inexplicable inability to leave anyone behind. Jack was about to prove those stories right. His medical kit wasn't designed for Velkari physiology, but blood was blood and punctured organs needed sealing. He worked fast, applying biofoam to the worst of the wounds. The woman's eyes focused on him, widening with something that looked like shock. "Why?" she whispered in heavily accented standard. "Your kind. Should hate mine." "Yeah, well," Jack muttered, injecting her with a broad-spectrum stabilizer that he hoped wouldn't kill her. "I've been told I'm bad at following expectations." As he worked, she spoke in fragments, her voice growing slightly stronger as the medication took hold. Her name was Jessica, or the closest human approximation of it. She was the daughter of a Velkari warlord who controlled 3 systems. She'd been promised to Commander Velthor, a union that would have consolidated power and brought peace to a sector that had known nothing but conflict for generations. She'd refused. "Love," she said, the word sounding foreign on her lips, "is not concept for my people. Marriage is contract, alliance. I told my father I would not be merchandise." Her father had responded by having her beaten and thrown from his ship while in orbit, a warning to others who might defy tradition. The fall should have killed her. That she'd survived even this long was a testament to Velkari resilience. "Well, Jessica," Jack said, finishing the last seal, "where I come from, we've got a saying, over my dead body." She laughed, a strange musical sound. "You risk your life. For enemy? You're not my enemy. You're just someone who needs help." Jack activated his emergency beacon. "Besides, humans are sentimental idiots. It's kind of our thing." The rescue shuttle arrived 14 minutes later, descending through the atmosphere with enough speed to leave a burning trail. Jack had positioned himself between Jessica and the canyon entrance, rifle ready. If anyone came to finish what they'd started, they'd have to go through him first. Captain Morrison was the first one off the shuttle, and she looked furious. "Corporal, do you have any idea what you've done? The Velkari Empire will see this as an act of war." "Then we explain," Jack said, not moving from Jessica's side. "We tell them we saved her, because that's what humans do. We don't leave people to die, regardless of their species or their politics. She's a warlord's daughter. She's a person who stood up for what she believed in and almost died for it." Jack finally looked at his captain. "Ma'am, I joined the Colonial Defense Force because someone told me we were out here to be better than the universe expected. If we can't save one alien woman who refused to be property, what's the point?" Morrison stared at him for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, she smiled. "You're right. You're insubordinate and you're going to cause a diplomatic nightmare, but you're right." She turned to her medics. "Get her on the shuttle, carefully." Jessica reached out, her 3-fingered hand grasping Jack's arm. "Why do humans do this? Fight for strangers? Die for principles?" Jack thought about it. About Earth's bloody history. about all the times his species had failed each other, but also about all the times they'd succeeded. About the firefighters who ran into burning buildings and the medics who crawled through gunfire to reach the wounded. Because someone has to, he said simply. Because if we don't stand up for what's right even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, then what are we? The Valkyrie Empire did protest. They demanded Jessica's return. But by then, her story had spread across the galactic networks. An alien woman who'd defied tyranny, saved by a human soldier who'd defied orders. Other Valkyrie began to speak up, questioning their own traditions. The warlord's power began to crumble. Jessica recovered in a human medical facility, and later became an ambassador, the first Valkyrie to advocate for individual rights over collective tradition. Jack returned to duty, earning both a commendation and a formal reprimand for the same action. When asked about it later, he just shrugged. She needed help. That's all that mattered. It was the most human thing he could have said.